kinds of magic here. Every artist I know carries in their head not less than 50,000 images. I always knew that I wanted to be in art, but when I was 18, I gave up art. I turned my back on it. I said, if I can't make a living at it, and I certainly can't, and I can't go on to school, and I certainly can't, I'll just forget about art, wipe it off the slate, never think about art again. And of course, when I went back to the museum art school, life began again. The rest was just an hiatus between 18 and 34. About 1968 or 69, I was into silkscreen, and I started using collage elements to shift around in a given space just to lay out a design for silkscreen. After a few of these, I thought, no, these exist on their own. They're not preparatory work, they are there. And so if you're a printmaker, you always have a great supply of off-register prints that don't work, that you can tear up and cut up and repaste and reshuffle. So I had a ready-made backlog of material. One day I sat on the floor tearing up paper, and I thought, this is where I was when I was 10, and I've come back to it. I've gone all the way around the mulberry bush and arrived where I started, and this is where it is for me. Is it Matisse who said in his later years, when he was doing those wonderful blue and white collages, that cutting into paper is like sculpting in stone? And it is. It's just, you have the same visceral response. Relationships come together and bounce. They set up a vibration between the edges. And when they're absolutely right, the viewer knows it. people who don't know anything about art can stand in front of it and know that there's something there. Seeing is just a learned thing. You have to learn to see. You have to learn to see edges. You have to learn to see relationships. Jack McClarty said, until you see shape as shape, you're not seeing at all. You see it apart from its literal value of a hand or arm or foot, but see it for its shape. Then you're beginning to see. Oh, there's the piece. We don't want that. Related blacks. Oh no. No. Think different. Arthur.
Oh, and do we need a clap here?
Sure.
That would be good.
Great.
Thank you. Okay.
There's Dove, and his full name was Arthur Garfield Dove. He was named after a president. Everything is built on what went before.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Abstract, if you look it up in the dictionary, means to take from.
Mm-hmm.
You can look at it as gables and houses, but you can also look at it as carefully related rectangles and triangles. This curve works against this curve, and you've got this little triangle. That is so strong and so wonderful, and he makes the shapes say what he's getting across. This physical effort is just all thrown into the tension between the figure and the object, and that's all. He didn't need to do anything with the rest of it. And all the angles activate that surface. Look at that. That is, you've got one little spot of blue-gray in the whole thing, and it isn't repeated any place. That's lovely. Oh, I just see these things and I want to go up and start working immediately.
I love the lace in that too.
Oh, and you
Yeah.
know, Dove used lace in that. That's big and that's modern. Oh, the torn edge, I tell you. Edges, edges. Edges are the story of my life. What do we see? Maybe we can put that. You save material sometimes for years before you find the right time and place. That's almost there right now. I mean, it's a shame to disrupt it, but still, the elements of white and, you know, and the balancing of squares and print material. For my 90th birthday, my friend John Stahl gave me this great birthday present. Partly a composition will resolve itself on your use of related material. Not the same, similar but not the same. It's called developing a close relationship. I really don't want these letters that say something, you know? I mean, you're looking for letters that exist in themselves without saying anything. You have to somehow cover up enough of it so the viewer isn't reading the literal word message. The viewer is just seeing the forms as form. Maybe we need this to take care of that red up there. Well, let's cover part of that X. It's not only the relationship of this piece to that piece, but it's the relationship of this piece to the edge. Maybe. No, it's more pure this way. I didn't even know I had that. It's busier than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be pure. So I might go back and eliminate the extra things I put in. This one was dead on the vine, and it, you know, it worried me because I'd invested a lot of time in it and what to do with it. Here's this big, all these favorite pieces, and one night when I couldn't sleep, I thought, sure. So I came up and put a flat piece of oval down around it and sprayed around the edges. And save the day. I just love Chicago, and I put everything I loved in there, and it's like bad cooking if you put everything in and it doesn't work. I mean, you've got jazz musicians and tenements and Michigan Boulevard and the Art Institute and little signs. It's all there, and what have you got? Nothing. I don't want to do this twice, you know. Jesus. Just tell me. Ready? Okay. It's already cubist. Do we want this side or that side? Hey, ragazzi, this way. Try it in the middle.
I like that, Eunice.
We have all this wonderful paper. This is something I've been trying to do something with for ages. This Hotel des Arts Étrangers, Corso Garibaldi. When it's all ready, the whole thing depends on such exact balances that if you screw it up when you're pasting, you've lost it. You can just lose the whole thing. I get things ready, and then I go away and leave them, and then I come back when I'm fresh. And sometimes I take a piece of transparent paper and literally draw a map of the edges to tell where they're going. And sometimes you just take a marker and mark corners, a corner, and hope that when you're pasting, it will all come out the way you planned. When I took zoology in high school, there would be a wonderful butterfly, and it was so alive, and when you caught it and put it in the jar and killed it and pinned it on a cork, it was dead. And that's what happens with a collage that is all of a piece when it's laid out, and you lose it. A butterfly is a thing of beauty, and when you kill it and put a pin in it and put it on a cork, it's not a thing of beauty anymore. The substance remains, but the life is gone. What made you thrill to its fluttering is gone.
How do you keep the piece alive?
That's the $64 question. I mean, it's alive if all the relationships work. My best hours are the morning when I get up. Everything is fresh. I step over relationships that I've stepped over the day before, nothing. And I step over them fresh in the morning and, Jesus, that's really good. I'll have to get on with that. So that's, at least for me, the way art works. I mean, it's a fresh seeing, and I hope it never changes. Collage satisfies me. I mean, I'm sure there are 100 other ways to express yourself, but collage is mine, and it's my raison d'etre.
They had a lot of discounts. They wanted this to change. They wanted to space going in a different direction. As soon as they found out they made art galleries, well, yeah, being cooperative as we are, that helps a lot.
Kicking stuff in the gutter. My mother was looking. Everything here represents the culmination of everything I've learned in 50 years.
Where do you get the original paper from?
About, maybe 50% of my paper stock is are posters I ripped off in Europe. I mean, there they are. They use sleazy paste, and you see a poster that's just flapping in the wind, and it behooves you to rescue it. It's true. All of these things are from an Italian poster that I ripped off in something like 1976, and the Beatles' feet down there is out of a magazine. You just have favorite pieces of paper and you sort of, nurse them along, and one day you say, okay, that's it, and you've got it. They used to have you remember the Our Gang comedies? The last shot was they were going down the road with their backs to the camera, and one kid had a drop seat on his pants. The end. The end. I have enough paper up here to keep me busy for another 10 years.